inviting you to join me wherever you listen to your streaming podcast. Journey with me on this road called freedom, where I invite you into a safe haven. Come and have candid conversations with me, with inspirational stories and lessons presented to you by others who will help us identify our lane as we collectively come together on this road called freedom. Hey guys, my loves. I don't know if y'all be jamming out like I do to the intro music, but you know, get my robot on. Anyway, happy International Women's Day to all my loves, my lovely ladies out there. Mwah! Happy International Women's Day. And I'm really excited about the show that we have aligned for you tonight because we have the beast of District B, who is a what woman? I am woman. Hear me roar for my community. So let's do a little housekeeping. Share this podcast on your platform, please, on your page. We're available on all your social media platforms. Be sure to like and follow me if you have not done so already. And go ahead and do what? Share this video. I hope that you guys join in the conversation today. You guys been a little quiet and I miss y'all. Come on now. Speak up today, right? I want y'all to be engaged in the question of the day. I want y'all to share your thoughts about the topic for today. And I want you to share the love. Okay, today's show is going to be community service and the church, which comes from Matthew 25, 35 through 40. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and fed you, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? The king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did it for me. On today's show, we will have none other than Nikki A. Kaiser, who is the founder of H.E.R, Simply H.E.R movement, right? And she embodies the scripture that I just gave you. Her house is a safe place in the community for children to go to if they're facing adversity. She doesn't know about all the stories I've heard that people have told me how she sent money with her children to school to make sure that somebody else's child had lunch. Donations that we've sent her, she's passed it on to somebody else in need. So I am excited to dig into what motivates this District B beast. But first of all, today we have combined evening espresso and conversations with God. That's the reading from my personal journal entry. So today I'm expecting my loyal fan base. Expecting loyalty isn't based on the title and not the person. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about something else, okay? I forgot to change it out. My bad, boo. Kisses to my producer who puts up my whimsical stuff. I always go off script, y'all. It's up on the prompter, but yeah, I ain't going to do that today. I wanted to talk about getting past ourselves, how we get over ourselves, how we feel stuck. I don't know about you guys, but have you ever, and be honest, okay? Have you ever felt like God let you down, or like you were behind time, or everything that you worked for, all the footprints that you put in the sand, all the work that you've done, all the good things that you did have been overlooked and not rewarded? I want to encourage you today, guys, to really hold on. I had some things that happened to me in the last several weeks, and I got to see where God took me all the way from when I was 15, 16 years old. He could not let those things come to me then because I did not have the wisdom that I have now, and I would not have been able to make decisions right now. I'll be transparent. My medical health, right? I've had some challenges. Those that follow me on my personal page, I've had some challenges. Baby, listen, I kicked cancer's butt, right? All these challenges down through the years. And God showed me, had I been properly diagnosed back then, I would have done some things and taken some drugs and the things they gave us, which would have harmed me, right? But now that I have the wisdom to properly take care of myself, then he can reveal the strong man. So I'm here to encourage you, don't give up. It may not be a medical report, it may be your business. Because listen, baby, I did something today. I am woman, hear me roar, and you'll hear about it in the upcoming months. But I want to encourage you, you are not forgotten. God did not forget about you. And guess what? It's okay to have a temper tantrum. Just have it with God and not on his people. Now, we're moving further into the show. Aren't you excited? We're getting closer to our District B beast coming to the platform to talk about her business, being people stuff. I want to talk about the diamonds that she took off. Oh, that was messy. We still going to talk about it, though. But in the comments, first off, let me say hi to Tanya Harper. Hey, my love, Miss Tanya. Thank you for joining in. Okay, I don't hear. Producer, you gonna have to tell me who else.
Candy Bogley.
Oh, Candy Bogley. Hey, girl. Hey. My question of the week. So the question of the week, I look at interesting topics. Today, I want to talk about, and when I say we, I'm talking about as a culture, the people that look like me. In our culture, since it is Community Day today on the podcast, let me ask you guys this, and I want feedback, guys, okay? Has the Black community become complacent in general? Where are the up-and-coming leaders in our community? It seems like they're now far and few between. We're not coming together cohesively. And I'm just not talking about in Houston. I'm talking about all over the globe. Do you think we as a community have swayed to chasing after glitter and not gold? It seems like we're chasing after more of a lifestyle or what looks good instead of undergirding the weakest links in our community and coming together collectively and taking advantage of the resources that we as a community who are so powerful. We are so powerful. And I feel like, let me answer my question and put my opinion out there. I feel like we're not, the more we get as a community, the more opportunities that we get, I think that we have become selfish. It's not a lot of people who are willing to sacrifice. And the sad part for me is it feels like when we're caping for our community, it feels like those that have the cape on are protecting people who don't even know there's a war going on. They're so good with being complacent in their like tiny little shelters. So guys, tell me what you guys think. I want y'all to marinate on that. Give us some thoughts. I'm ready to get into this great show. So when we come back, we will explore that topic, and I would love to read you guys' comments. We'll get more into community service and the church, because guess what? Miss Nikki A. Kaiser is in the building. She is the beast of District B, and she's a minister with a heart for God. Bet y'all didn't know that. We'll be right back after this break.
This new podcast is going to be about building a relationship with Christ. Building your love life not only with Christ, but with those around you, and building your personal inner strength. Jesus said the greatest commandment is to love, and love is an action word. Sometimes it's hard to love. You must do certain things in your life. First, you must shake it off and pack it up in your feet. Because when you shake it off and pack it, He's commanded us to do. The first thing I want to teach you about love is not selfish. So join R&R Ministries on Sundays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to our podcast on any of your favorite networks, but be sure to tune in to This Is Culture Network.
And we are back. Did y'all miss me? If y'all miss me, I need y'all to give me some love. Give me some hearts. I'm not feeling the love. I don't see y'all talking to me back in the comments. Anyway, welcome back. Please don't forget to share on your social media platform. Let me give a shout out to my sponsor. She met me in the parking lot today, y'all, because I was in a hurry. She met me in the parking lot. I'll say this. She met me in the parking lot of my new building. I'll give y'all more information later. But Miss Karen Boggety of Boggety International, thank you, my love, for getting this hair together, because, you know, it was a whirlwind day and I looked like the wind had blew in. All right. We have a video of Miss Nikki Kaiser coming up. We have a video of Miss Nikki Kaiser. But first, let me do what you got on. So, y'all, you know I love my little thrift stores, right? I copped this little number. Ain't it colorful? Like, yeah. So I picked this dress because it's from the thrift store, because I love resale shops. But I was feeling a little melancholy. I've been having an awesome week, and I missed my mommy, y'all. I had a Miss My Mommy breakdown. This International Women's Day, and my mom has set the bar for ministry in my life. She's poured so many seeds. And when I misspoke, when I'm having a day like I had today, I usually put something on loud. Not that I'm a loud girl anyway. So anyway, ha ha. So that's what I have on today, and I chose these colors specifically because I love purple. It's my favorite color, and I did a little colorful. Y'all should see these shoes I have on. These little sandals are got the color of the rainbow, and they have nerve enough to have like a chain and locks on it, right? Because I'm free. It's not the ball and chain. It's a cute little lock. Somebody got the heart to my feet. Jesus too. Anyway, we're going to introduce our guest by this beautiful video. Thank you, girl, for showing up. You can play the video. The beast of District B, Miss Nikki A. I always wanted to do that. I pay the actress, So, Miss Nikki, the video.
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Well, thank you. You look amazing. Happy International Women's Day.
Listen, thank you so much. Are you able to hear me?
I am. I can hear you. Can you hear me, girl?
I can hear you. However, it seems as if my screen has stopped. So
that's
I'm trying to see. Am I stuck?
Amazing. You're not stuck over here.
Okay. Well, let's keep it going. I'm good.
Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do. Tell us about that amazing video and some of the work that you do in the community.
Absolutely. My name is Nikki A. Kaiser. I am the founder and executive director at Simply Her Movement. The Her stands for helping, empowering, and restoring lives. And so I'm super excited about being a part of this amazing platform. Thank you so much. Let me start by saying thank you for having me today. And I always appreciate our private conversations. And so the public is just now today going to get an opportunity to hear us out loud. And so thank you. Simply Her Movement is a nonprofit organization and that we serve underserved, underprivileged communities. And we're doing it domestically, nationally, and abroad, international as well. And so I'm super excited about who we are as Simply Her Movement. We participate in our community. Yes, we're located in Houston, Texas, in the Northeast Houston community. And we are a part of the amazing District B district. And so I'm super excited about just what God has in store for us at Simply Her Movement. And so that's who we are.
So let's talk about first what you got on. Talk about that beautiful t-shirt you have on.
Thank you so much. This shirt here that I have on, it's called God's Hype Girl. That's the name of my brand, God's Hype Girl. I'm my own hype. Really just pretty much it promotes the love and also the uniqueness of who you are and how you really truly stand out in God's eyes. And I always have this saying that I tell people all the time, you may be the only Jesus somebody sees. So what are you showing them? And so that's what it is. I'm my own hype girl. I'm God's hype girl.
So at the bottom of the show, you guys, we're gonna get some. Don't leave now before the show is over because I want you guys to connect with Nikki, get some of her products. I love that shirt. She has some other products available that we're going to talk about further in the show. She's going to tell us how to connect, where to go to purchase those items, and how you guys can donate to her. She's one of the people that I've sewn into because I trust that it's going to get to where my heart lies. She understands that, and I trust that, she's not skimming off the top, right? Let's just call it what it is. So the question of the week, Miss Nikki, is, so we really not going to talk about the diamonds you took off before the show?
No, we're not. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, she has some diamonds on. I'm just saying. She's
talk about it. Not important. Focus. We got to stay focused on the mission at hand. And that, you know what, Kim, that's amazing. That's something that that really truly, I'm glad you said that, because that's something that I always like to tell people is that keep people focused on the mission and don't get distracted by things, the shiny things. And so that's really cool that we did have that laugh or whatever. But you know what? It is easy for people to stop and get sidetracked versus staying focused on what is necessary ahead. And so I always encourage everyone, stay focused on what's ahead.
Ain't nobody gonna stop. I'm focused on the whole thing. You're a diamond, and that's what they represent. So I don't care about what the people trying to talk about. I just I want to focus on. I got to pay. I paid to focus on the diamonds. But anyway,
listen. In God's time, He'll do what He do, and God will send someone to continue to work those diamonds. How about that?
Let's talk about the question. Where am I? Let's talk about the question of the week. Now you're out here, and I know you serve the underserved community across the board without focusing on skin tone. However, the underserved are typically people of color. Okay. That you serve, no? So has the Black community become complacent in general? Like when you're out there in the community, boots on ground, do you see anybody or can you spot like up and coming leaders? Are we mentoring, transferring the wealth and knowledge to the next generation so that they can be as vocal as you are? Because you be charging them politicians up. You don't really care. You be snatching microphones and So what does that look like in the community? Because I live in District B too.
Right. So basically, what I would say is that yes, we are at Simply Her Movement. I definitely am, as a founder of Simply Her Movement, I am putting forth an effort in providing everything that's needed and necessary to teach leadership. That's the main thing. I started home. You know, my son is a natural born leader. He says it all the time that he's not interested as far as running and taking over everything. The legacy is there and the opportunity is available, but he's not seeing it as something that he wants to do as his future. However, you know, me being a mom and also being a minister and being in tune with my spiritual connections, I see God moving. And so, yes, I do definitely make sure that we are preparing the grounds for those who are coming after us. And then not only that, too, I have an opportunity to really truly mentor this amazing young lady by the name of Susan Williams, who is WARS. Her organization, her nonprofit organization is WARS, and that's working against repeat cycles of situations. And so I am really truly blessed to get an opportunity to pour into her life. And then not only that, too, just an opportunity to be able to speak to each and every person that I get in contact with to tell them, especially our youth, like we had an opportunity this past on March the 1st to impact the lives of our students and teaching and volunteer at Kashmir. And so there was so many leaders there. And so we were able to provide that extra push and give them what they needed. So yes, ma'am, I am truly, honestly out there teaching the leadership skills and preparing the way for the next, you know, the next successor of community activating the community and getting everybody where they need to be. So, you know, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing my part.
So you're there, and I know you're doing your part, but do you see, are you not, I'm not talking about those who are elected for the position. I'm just saying there was a time we saw a you not just in one spot in the district, right? Right. Each part of the community of District B, District A, District whatever, they had people like you in each segment of the district and the community who would come together and get it done. To me, it just seems like that's getting far and few between in our community. You know, we're arguing over peanuts and stuff. And, you know, it just seems like to me that our community is getting scattered. And like you just said earlier, focusing on the shiny things versus the heart of the community. Yeah. And so my question is, I know you're training people, but do you see you as frequently as we did coming up?
Not often. Not often. Not often. You know, I'll be honest with you, Kim. I'll be honest with you. And the reason why I say not often is because we don't have, say it again.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, we don't have a lot of people like Nikki A. Kaiser to come outside the doors and not fall and not settle. Let me be real transparent and honest, because your show is one of those shows that we can be real about it, right? So the thing of it is this here. What we have is we have some who have started out the race with the drive and the push to really seriously to walk the path, to do the right thing. But then somewhere along the line, some compromising happens, right? So I always say that, you know, you don't have to do dirty business to be able to be respected in the district and also in your community. But you do have to have the integrity and the character to continue to move forward. And an example, you have to be an example in your community. And so one of the things that I really do notice is that not everybody is walking with integrity and character. Right. Some people don't even, you know, they don't have no connection with the community. They're not even from the community. And when I say not from the community, they don't walk and talk the neighborhood language. They don't come through the community and see what's going on. You know, I always tell each and every politician that runs out for a place in our district and in our city, period. I always tell them, if you really want to get to know who the people are, and if you really want to gain the votes of the people in your community, you need to go into your local trees. You need to go through your neighborhoods and sit out with those who are actually out. Go to the local stores and hang out at the stores and really seriously learn what the situation is and talk about the community and the needs of the community. And not only just talk about them, but be about them. And some do follow the rules and the suggestions. And then you have some who just don't. They just looking for the vote. And so when we're looking for someone like myself, who is really truly down, boots on the ground, down for the community, rolling up my sleeves and really doing the work, it's hard. And that's because everybody's not willing to go the extra mile. It goes back to what you said about the opportunity to be a blessing to children who are in a need, being a safe haven. Well, I didn't sign up to be available to children, families, and people all times of the night, but that's what God has a plan, and that's what He's put me in place for. So when we are talking about, where we are, and when we are talking about me as a person, it's very different. It's truly different. I mean, I remember when I first started out in doing the community work and just really pretty much being a consistent volunteer for everybody's program, everyone's event. And I realized that the teachers and those who are there to teach us and to really seriously give us the guidance that we need, they are no more. Right? Because again, the old regime has passed on. We have a lot of people who have, passed on, and those who are still available to teach. Not a lot of people want to sit down at their feet and learn the wisdom and the knowledge that they have in order to become the better persons. And then, of course, because we got so many side deals and so many people that are taking side deals and they doing their own thing and, all that other stuff they got going on, it's hard.
Do you think that, like I said, so what you're saying in a nutshell is we had the generation, but we didn't have the bi-generation to fill in the gaps until somebody took up the mantle. And now you have people looking at the shiny things versus the community that they were once a part of. You know what I mean? And it just seems like in our community, because this podcast is geared toward Black America, because there's not just a divide in Houston. I've been everywhere, and it's everywhere where there's a disconnect generationally. Like the younger generation don't really respect the older generation anymore. And in my opinion, my observation is because they are looking at the generation in the 60s that struggle with things, but they're looking at the resources we have now and they're marrying those. And so you got to keep that bird's eye view that look at the resources. There was not women's rights in the 50s and 60s, right, let alone Black women rights. There was no women rights in until mid 60s. But our grandmas were doing it. That's why we respect them, because they didn't have any of the tools that we had, any of the resources that we had. They were less than 100 years out of slavery and watching their sons and daughters lynched and raped and and their husbands taken away and all these things. But they still made it happen. And it saddens me that a Nikki A. Kaiser is far and few between. I'm not as boots on the ground anymore like I used to be, which is why I still connect with you, because I still got to get the resources from my hands to someone that I know is going to go to who it needs to go to. I recently found out through conversation with someone, and like you said earlier, we don't talk every day. We're not connected every day. It's far and few between. But I was so proud of you, because I was just having a conversation with somebody who didn't even think we were connected like this. And they were saying how you take the money they send you, and you give it away. You know what I mean? You making sure somebody's child had a meal. You didn't take it and buy whatever they told you to buy with it, because they gave it to you for you, not for even the ministry movement, right? And how you use it. For me, that's far and few between. Somebody will say, well, I need this, and they're not really thinking about the community. So I got to hear a different part of who you are from somebody else, which undergirded how I already felt about you. Talk about the give back that you did at Cashmere High School, the drive-by, the food, I got a chance to get by, and that line was so long, and you guys service all those people, and it was raining, you know, when I
Right.
went by, and y'all were still out there. It was well organized. Talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, definitely. And big shouts out to the person who gave you that information. And it's a true statement. It really truly is a true statement. I do take what I have for myself and I will give my last. Some of my amazing team members are on, and I'm sure they're probably like, yes, she will. And so that's what the heart of doing the work consists of for me. And so one of the things that we did that was so amazing is that we got the call to action and everything. And so everyone asks, what are y'all doing, Simply Her? What is Simply Her doing? I'm very mindful of who we partner with, who sponsors us, and who actually covers us as an actual nonprofit organization. I'm very, very overprotective of that baby. And so it's not a lot of people who can call me and get me outside. I haven't been outside. We've been in the house. And we've really truly been just a resource connector to each and every person. But when you get a phone call, and also when everyone is asking for resources on top of resources top of resources, when you get a 5:55 a.m. call all the way from Plano, Texas, from my amazing shiro, Miss Cheryl Action Jackson, Minnie's Food Pantry.
Hey,
Listen, you can do one or
happy.
two things.
Yes.
Yes, I love Cheryl. Big shouts out to her. And you can do one or two things. You can either sit, listen, tell her no, and then explain your no's, or you can just sit and listen and say, okay, this is the person that you can depend on to come through and make sure that your community is taken care of, even in the midst of disasters. Not only just disasters, but of course, she also is one of our amazing sponsors that take care of us for the Nikki A. Kaiser Open Hand Give Back Day. That was this January 30th that we had. And so for her to call and say, okay, what is needed in Houston? What do you guys needing? And so for her to just meet that need and really truly load up the big daddies, the big trucks, brand new, all shiny, beautiful, load them from top to bottom, making sure that we have everything that we need, supplies, essentials, and things that was going to be necessary to service our community. It was truly a blessing, but not only just her, but to be able to call some friends in here in the Houston area, like my good friend, council member Michael Knox, that's my guy, and say, hey, Mike, I'm needing some water. And he's saying, all right, Nikki, I got you. And then my boy, Harris County Judge Eric William Carter, and he takes care of business and like, all right, girl, I got you. And I'm going to come out and really truly make sure that my presence is noted there. And so it's like, okay, cool. And then to get an opportunity to now have a connection with our councilwoman in District B, Tasha Jackson, give an opportunity for her to be able to give to our community and service us. And she made sure that we had some water and some additional mask and hand sanitizer and MREs and everything. I mean, it was amazing just to see how everybody came on one accord to be a blessing, and then to get an opportunity to utilize the space at Cashmere High School, working with Mr. Bush and the wraparound specialist, Mr. Smith, but to know that Principal Bush was willing to just open up those doors, make sure things was happening, and get us where we needed to be. We were so blessed to get clearances through HISD for what we needed to be able to video and get these memories that we needed and really put the charge of action out to the community and let them know we are here to help you. And then, like I said, for Cheryl to get onto the road 3 a.m., get on down to Houston, Texas to arrive here and to serve. I mean, literally serve. And if you guys have never seen her serve before, I really, truly, honestly, the videos does it no justice. But to see her in action and the children of Cashmere High School to volunteer their time, the athletic department, volunteer their time, and those babies was out there working. And of course, I can't do it without my amazing care team, to have my amazing care team out there. Sonia, Mimi, everybody knows Mimi, and my cousin Pravon, everybody we call her cousin, and Jerome Robinson, my brother, he's out there. And then just to have the other team members, even though they were not able to be physically present, but know that they were praying, know that they were working. And Tangela Fields, she's our detail logistics and making sure we went to store because we had to do some shopping, right? How do you take care of a community and not go and get the additional essentials that's needed? And so all the things that we could not get taken care of in Plano, Texas, we here in Houston, Texas, Simply Her Movement, we went on a store run. That's what we call it. And so we went from store to store. But let me tell you what was so beautiful about this store run. We got a chance to really seriously build relationship within our community, right? Here in District B. So I am advocating and I am pushing for each and every person to go and see the Dollar General managers and go and see the Family Dollar managers, because they want to build a relationship with our community and they want to be able to provide the great services, and they do want to make sure that we are taken care of. And so to get into a place, started out right there on Cross Timbers and Lockwood, meeting the girl Trish, who is the amazing manager at Dollar General, and she put a call out to each and every manager and said, hey, she's coming to your community. She's coming to get cleaning supplies because she's going to be doing a big giveaway, and it's going to take all of us to do it. So whatever you have, let her have it, because she's going to bring it back to the community. And it was a beautiful, beautiful effort of all of us coming on one accord. The challenges that we had, they were not major challenges. They were small. Like, we did actually say, okay, we're looking for the weather to be great. We want the weather to be fine, because everybody kept saying, oh, the weather's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. But I told God, God, I need some good weather, because I need to be able to serve our community well. And then to have the senior volunteers to come out, I was super excited because my mama came out. My mama came out and she was a helping hand too. So to just be able to collaborate, collaborate, and have some amazing sponsors to come and be a part and really seriously help us get accomplished and serve over 1,800 families. So that was amazing. And what was crazy about it all is because when me and my team did our numbers, we served our first year 487 people, our first whole year. Then for us to go from serving 487 people in a year for one whole year to 1,800 people in less than 2 hours.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So I'm excited about what God is doing for us and how far we're going to go.
At the bottom of the screen, my amazing producer has put information where you can see how to donate to Nikki and the work she's doing. We're going to talk more with Nikki and talking about the community and the church. We're going to focus on our next part of the interview on her church work, because I don't know how many of you guys are so used to seeing her on Facebook in the community, serving, advocating, threatening folks, get them together if they don't do right and all of that. But how many of you guys know that she's actually a minister? And I've had the pleasure and a spoken word artist. I've had the pleasure of hear her do spoken word, and I actually met her, believe it or not, in the church, not in the community first. I met her in the church first, ministering and spoken word. And so we're going to talk, when we come back, we're going to talk about how she bridged that gap, and she's able to be both. We'll be right back.
Don't let the mask inhibit your style. Go to www.foxylipso1boutique.com and order our line of matte lip gloss in a variety of shades, colors, and bling with no mask transfer. And yes, we even have a line of vegan lipstick. Order today at www.foxylipso1boutique.com. Use order code UHURU for a 20% discount off orders of over $25. Go to www.foxylipso1boutique.com today.
And we're back with the wonderful Nikki A. Kaiser with Simply Her Ministries. Welcome back, please. I want you guys to comment. I want to give out a shout out to Tangela Fields, Carolyn Thomas, Tanya Harper, Davina Morris. Hey, Miss Davina in Lufkin. Thank you guys for watching tonight. I wish you guys would participate in the conversation. I know Davina and them in Lufkin do a lot of outreach as well. Nikki, but you're a whole movement down here in District B. I'm so honored to live in District B. You know, my dad, my parents have been in District B. We started in Unborn when the kids, grew up and moved on. They moved to District B and they've been there for about 30 plus years. So I'm actually in the community. I get to see your work when I pass by and see things happening. I know that that's your footprint. So I can say with all certainty that you are the beast. I hear when I say the beast, I think about the Lion of Judah because you're a praiser, you are a worshiper, and you are a worker, and you get things done. So let's talk about you as a minister and how that happened.
Well, one thing I can say is that I love God and trap music. That's something that everybody should know. I love God and trap music. That is my thing. I love God and trap music. One thing I tell people is that I was called and chosen for this seat. God chose me. I did not choose the seat. I did not choose the position. And so one thing about it is that when you know who you are and when you really seriously answer the real true calling of what God has placed you at, and you give him a real complete yes, please be mindful that there is going to be a test that comes with it. So the thing for me is that I went through Harvey. I went through a full Harvey experience right after I told God yes that I would go ahead on. Went before the church and confessed my calling. And from there, me and God went on our real live adventure. And I always tell people that I had a Jonah experience. That's what I really preached in my first sermon was a Jonah experience. And he literally took me through it. He took me through the Jonah experience. And not only that, too, he walked me through the Moses moment because it was Harvey. We went through the water. He parted that Red Sea, brought me through, and really seriously, he gave me a word. And one thing about the word that God gave me was it was an unadulterated truth word. So ministry for me was seriously being authentically true to God's word and answering the call and really seriously just doing it the way that you know to do it. Not all tailor-made like the others. Just do the way you know.
Let's talk about what it cost you because like tonight, you look amazing. When people see you in the community, they see you working and serving, and you make it look, they see your post, who got me on the hot dogs, who got me on the backpacks, but they don't see what it looks like when it's not looking like it's coming together. Or when you have a need, but you're serving everybody else's needs because you can't stop. And they don't see what it costs you, the relationships, because everybody didn't mature when you matured. Even though they were doing it quick more than you were, they did mature. So there were some relationships you had to sever. And that comes with the territory, but it still gives you the moments where you just don't want any of it, right? Because it chose you. You didn't necessarily volunteer for it, but you were serving with passion. What is your motivation? How do you get past those moments when you're caping for a community that don't even like you or don't even know they need you until they need you?
Well, this is one of the things that I live by, and that is what God's word says: is that love those who despitefully mistreat you. And that's what I go with. I just go with loving those who despitefully mistreat me. With love and kindness have I drawn. And it may sound cliche and a little bit perfect to somebody, but I tell people the truth is that when you really seriously go to God for everything, like literally you and him have conversations about everything, because that's what I do. I talk to God about everything. He and I, we have real life conversations. It's not one of those proper. No, I talk to him just like I talk to my good homeboy, my daddy, my brother. We are talking about what I need, and so I tell him straight up, listen, these people don't like me. These folks don't like me. My mouth is slick. I got something to say. So I'm gonna need you to work on your folks like you working on me. And once I break it down to him, and I be whining, I be complaining, I be kicking, I be tantruming. And he gently says it. You said yes. And I'm like, oh, but daddy. He's like, but you said yes. And so the yes is not, it's like, it's not a question. It's not a wavering yes. You said yes, solid. So because you said yes, solid, you got to keep to what it is. And so that's one of the things that I keep in mind, even when it doesn't look right to me. And my team will tell you, I throw in the towel every year for open hand give back. Every
You
year,
quit.
I send out a mass text to everybody and tell them, well, this year, y'all, we not doing it. Don't worry about it. I talk to God and they be like, she lying. But I do. I tell it in the minute. I be straight up lying on daddy and everything. But seriously, it's because it does become overwhelming. But then God sends always a reminder. Somebody in my team will say, to whom much is given, much is required. Or someone else will say, because you are called to do this. Or someone else will say, as gentle as they can, they'll say, okay, once you finish kicking and fighting, then we'll be able to get started. And then God will send a total stranger who will come along and remind me of why I am who I am. Yeah. So definitely keeping it we politely.
Right,
That's
right.
one of my amazing team members right there. Yeah.
Question. So I know having 5 kids, I was a single parent. You know, no shade with their dads, but circumstances allotted that they could not be around in the parameters, right? I was called to advocacy. And oftentimes I had to sometimes balance between doing this versus showing up for missing a game, maybe. You know what I mean? And so, how do you handle when what God has called you conflicts with your kid's schedule and you would like to show up for something? Now, I know you don't miss a lot of their things, a lot of their events. I know you about their rah-rah, so you get them coaches and them principals, but the business about your cheerings and everybody else's cheerings. But,
Exactly.
what I want to bring out is it's challenging sometimes to serve a community when they don't even realize what you give up so that they can have what they need in their children. And sometimes that means not showing up sometimes for your own. Let's talk about that a little bit.
And that's true. So I am a mother who is single with children. That's what I say. I'm not a single mom. I'm a mother who is single with children. And so the thing of it is that I've had to juggle schedules where we have a baseball game. My son is in baseball, a baseball game at 1 o'clock. And then there's also an event that starts at 9 o'clock a.m. and may end somewhere about 12 o'clock. And so it's the hustle and the bustle of trying to make sure that we can balance out that schedule so I can at least make it on that field, to the field, in those stands and at some point. And then my daughter, when she was in band, I would, she would have band going on. And then also there will be some type of event that I would need to attend that I would just really seriously need to be there. But, God is real faithful. And I can honestly say that my village, I have an amazing village of people who have taken on their roles in my kids and my life. And they have made a decision that if I can't make it, somebody's sitting in the stands, somebody's there videoing, somebody's sending, the reports. And really, truly, I have not missed a lot. Because you know what I told God? And this is what I want to encourage somebody. Don't be afraid to tell God what you're asking for when he's telling you what it is he needs for you to do. And so one thing I did tell God was, I said, God, if I got to do this, you're going to have to make sure you can balance me out, because I don't want to miss my children. I don't want to miss their opportunities of being able to grow because I'm out taking care of somebody else's household. And so God has been really, truly faithful to me. It has been times where I knew I can't make an event, but he would cancel the event or either the game itself. And it's like, well, yeah, thank you, God, so that I didn't miss anything. And so I really, truly, honestly am appreciative of just the adventures of trying it. But you know what? I want to encourage each and every parent out there that is doing it alone. Get your village. Get some people together who really seriously can really push you and really undergird you and carry you when you can't make it, because you're going to need it. You're truly going to need it, for real. So that's how I do it. I do it with God, and I do it with all of my villagers.
I have loved that you brought that out because I too had to bring my grandkids. My kids are grown now. I have a granddaughter that's going to be 18 this year. Clutch my imaginary pearls. Anyway, so I still make it to the event. Listen, Nikki, my producer has jokes so we finna be surprised at the same time. I like to have fun and play games. That's what he's telling me to say, but it's really him that play all day. So they came up with this game called A Word for the Community. So here are the rules.
Okay.
You listen, I'm going to give you a scenario, and I want you to give me a word for the community to help them through that scenario. Your word can be biblical, practical, or funny. You ready?
Okay.
A woman comes to you escaping. Oh, that's easy. Boom. A woman comes to you escaping an abusive relationship. What you gonna do, Nikki?
Here we go. So basically, well, one, let me be transparently true. If anyone follows me on my social media site, on my personal page, there was a 3 a.m. incident, and everybody knows she packed a backpack. Okay, I pack a backpack and it's not empty. Let's just say that it's filled with joy, peace that surpasses all understanding. Okay, so the thing of it is that if she comes to me and she's leaving the abusive relationship, I'm gonna ask her, are we done? Are we done? Because if we're not done, then anybody that rolls up, they have the right to get what's gonna happen. I'm just right and honest about it. Domestic violence is not my area; it's my working place. But I'm gonna protect her at all costs. And if it means that I say this here, I will rock the state colors. I will rock the state colors.
State colors, okay? Because ain't gonna be no heat, okay? Because they know Nikki A. Kaiser don't play that in the District B. Anyway, someone is denied a job because of their race. Let me juice that up. Let me hit her hard. A young child whose first job that is a good kid and amazing, and they go to the Dollar General and they deny them, and it's because of their race. What you gonna do, Nikki?
And again, I will rock the state colors.
Oh boy. We're gonna defer to the orange. Is it orange? Okay.
I will rock the state colors. No, actually, I would definitely go and I will go over and talk with that community leader, because that store is actually a community place where we really seriously, that there's a leader there, that manager is considered to be a leader, that hiring manager is a leader. And I'm not one that says the child actually, I'm going to get in the employer's business, but at the same time, I feel like it is my voice that needs to be heard to advocate for that child. So yeah, I will advocate for that kid.
So this next scenario, I'm going to use it as a beyond Christmas give back, because we just dealt with this, Miss Nikki. He said, and see, that's what I love. I mean, I know it looks like I play all day sometimes, but I know God moves on this platform because today is beyond Christmas Day, right? And it says a single mother unable to sleep and rest at night because she's past due on bills. We just did something about that last week. Can you tell us about that? Because this is a play day thing. This was actually a real life scenario. So what you do?
Absolutely. So definitely, we had a family member. And when I say family member, I'm talking about a part of Simply Her movement, our community. So we had someone who was in need. And so they didn't speak real loud about it, but we did know that there was a need. And so being a blessing and getting a blessing from the amazing sponsor, we just went head on and made sure that we took care of that family member. As was stated earlier, every time somebody's always trying to pour into me or Simply Her movement, we're always willing to open up our hands and give back to someone else. And so we did meet that need and was able to be a blessing and to give that family some hope, some help do finances. And so, yeah, we did our part. And I'm glad.
And
I'm super excited to be ready to, to be a blessing. So, yes.
the last one, a young man starting a business but wanting to give up. Encourage that young man right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So here's what I want to say. You're the head and not the tail. You're the lender and not the borrower. You're above and not beneath. Young man, you are everything that God says that you are. You're needed. You are necessary. You are a pillar to your community, to your life. And also, you have all skill sets inside of you to pull forth and do what is necessarily needed. So here's what I want to say. Everything is going to be fine. I need you to breathe and let's go ahead on and go forth. What is it that you want to do? You're going to have to set your goals because you have to write the vision and make it plain. And once you write the vision and make it plain, let's walk with those goals. And after you walk with those goals, then we need to start executing them because faith without works is dead. So what I need you to do is I need you to put your faith and work together so that you can live. I know it's hard. Sometimes it's tough. And especially if you're a Black man. Yes, everybody is counting you out. But I want to tell you, I count you in because God counts you in. Go ahead on and be blessed and be amazing today.
My producer, I'm laughing really hard because you're talking and my producer is back here throwing a little scarf and talking, speaking in tongues. And, he's just receiving that. So that's why I'm cracking up because, oh my God, if you can see the shenanigans behind the scenes. So a girl is about to beat up he missed it. What you gonna do if you know somebody is about to beat up the mistress that not stole her man? Cause can't nobody steal him, but somebody finds out somebody's messing with a husband man in the community, and she finna roll him up, piece him up. What you gonna do? You intervening or not?
Well, here's the thing that I want to say, and I do experience this a lot. Here's what I always tell ladies. Here's what I say. While you're trying to fight on the woman, you may want to bring the man forth because, again, it takes two people to do one thing. And your job is to find out what the person at fault is. Your plan, your problem, your situation is not with the other woman. It's always with the man that you made a commitment to. So here's the thing. You need to talk to your husband. And as you're talking to your husband, you need to find out what's causing him to make these kind of decisions. And one thing about it is this here. The conviction of the heart will happen for each party involved. But one thing about it is that we have to challenge our energy toward the person that is the interest trouble. And that is the mate, your mate. You can't control them. But one thing about it is that your commitment is to your husband. So you need to address your husband. The other woman, she needs to make a decision and a choice. Once she's faced with it, that's no longer a position. And I would talk with the other woman and I would tell her, honey, your value is way more than just being a side piece because you're getting nothing from being this side piece. The few little things that you get on the side, how about you focus on you, build you, and do what you got to do for you and wait so that you can be the whole piece. Because wholeness is your portion, not side.
Didn't I tell y'all she was the beast of District B? Now y'all know what the B stands for. Beast, all right? The Lion of Judah, she gave y'all the word. She gave y'all the wisdom. She gave y'all the advocate. And she gave y'all the backpack, okay? And y'all know what she say, the backpack ain't empty. What? Now that was a word from the community, for the community. And this is our guest, Miss Nikki A. Kaiser. I am so glad that you said yes to come on this platform. Now, Nikki, tell the people how we can get in contact with you, your social media, personal and business, because we want them to connect with you. If there's a number, a website, show your products. My girl wrote a book. I'm so proud of her. Her book. Tell us about your book, your t-shirts, how we can purchase them, how we can connect with you.
Well, yeah, definitely. So let me tell you guys, I'm not only a founder of a nonprofit organization, I'm also an author. I wrote a book called Her Pen Rights Publishing Company, which is my personal publishing company. But my book is called My Thought Journey. And it's a book about prayers, spoken words, and just pure thoughts. Definitely, you can check us out on Amazon, or you can connect with me personally and reach out to me at 713-346-7758-500. That's our business office number at Simply Her Movement. You can also check out our website at www.simplyhermovement.org. Listen, stay connected with us, and you can also check us out on our social media site. Simply Her Movement is our Facebook, IG, Simply Her Movement. Also, TikTok, we're Simply Her Movement. And of course, you can also check my personal page out, which is Simply Her Nikki A. Kaiser. I want to stay connected with you guys and thank you again for all that you do. I do definitely take this moment and this time as a privilege to be able to speak with you. We need you guys to help us out. So definitely connect with us if you want to volunteer, if you want to donate and become one of our sponsors. We definitely can't continue to do these amazing things without you. So please join in and be a part of the movement. Listen, it's not about what I say, it's about how I make you feel. And man, I hope I made you feel some type of way.
I want to encourage you guys that are listening to sow into her, pour into her, support her movement. I know I personally sent some things. Somebody tried to sponsor me, and I knew that wasn't mine. Passed it along, and I knew it got to the hands that of the community, and it got. She is building a community shelf. You tell me about that. And I want you guys.
So we're actually building a community grocery pantry so that you're able to do. It's a freedom pantry where you'll be able to come into our location at the storehouse and pick up what you need. It's no type of pressure. You get to shop and get as much as you like. There's no limit. You get what you need and go. There's no pressure. And so what we're needing is, of course, some of our actions is that we need a storage. We definitely need a storage space so that we're able to house our 2 refrigerators that were donated. And so big shouts out to our donors. And also we need shelving so that we're able to put our food, our non-perishable items on the shelving so that you'll be able to go in, pick off the shelves what you want, go into the refrigerator, get the meat and all the fruits and vegetables and everything that's in there. And definitely feel good about being able to shop, because one thing I find is that there is pressure in some of these lines when people are doing giveaways. They don't feel the love of being able to just feel secure and knowing it's a big pride thing already, but just they don't feel the love to be able to go through the line and know that they're going to feel good about getting what they need. And so that's what we want to do. We want to do a no pressure grocery shopping opportunity. So yes, definitely we are actually got that.
We're not in church, but however, I'm gonna take this church moment to raise an offering. So I need you guys that are listening, really, whatever you can send to her Cash App. She need those what's called in-kind donation, the shelves, all of that kind of stuff. But she also needs cash, because to go from store to store, it takes gas to feed a child. And I know personally that she sends money with her child to school to feed children who don't have it, right? All these private things. I know a young man a couple of weeks ago knocked on her door at 2:30 in the morning because of a situation at home. She had to feed that man. He wasn't going to go to school hungry. I know for a fact that she gives clothing items away. I know for a fact that things that are donated sometimes to her kids, they're in a situation where she has them to share what they have. So this is a selfless woman taping for her. Right? So a love offering. She is a 501c3, so if you require it, you can get a receipt for your donation, right? Nikki,
Yes,
share
ma'am.
with us your Cash App, please.
Okay. Our Cash App is $ Simply Her 11. It's Simply Her 11. We have the Cash App $ Simply Her 11. Or again, you can go to our website www.simplyhermovement.org, and there is a donation button there. And so it just says help for the cause. And so you just put in whatever amount that you would like to. And so I want to say thank you in advance for already being a blessing to us. Thank you.
We'll be right back after this break for our closing remarks. And thank you, Miss Nikki, for being on this platform. You were simply amazing.
This new podcast is going to be about building a relationship with Christ, building your love life not only with Christ, but with those around you, and building your personal inner strength. Jesus said the greatest commandment is to love, and love is an action word. Sometimes it's hard to love. You must do certain things in your life. First, you must shake it off and pack it up in your feet. Because when you shake it off and pack it, He's commanded us to do. The first thing I want to teach you about love is not selfish. So join R&R Ministries on Sundays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to our podcast on any of your favorite networks, but be sure to tune in to This Is Culture Network.
And we're back. And in parting, I want to thank our guest, Nikki A. Kaiser with Simply H.E.R Movement. I want to thank you guys for joining in. I thank you for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for viewing in. Next week, our amazing show is coming up. I'll see you guys. Next week is actually our Woman's Day. And I love the third Monday because we have that what? Girl, F them kids. You got to tune in next week to find out what the F stands for. Catch us this Wednesday on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, or wherever you watch or listen to your podcast. You can also replay this on Facebook Live and Instagram and YouTube. Until next week, same bat time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Goodbye, my loves. Peace. Hey, this is Uhuru Wingi, inviting you to join me wherever you listen to your streaming podcast. Journey with me on this road called freedom, where I invite you into a safe haven. Come and have candid conversations with me, with inspirational stories and lessons presented to you by others who will help us identify our lane as we collectively come together on this road called freedom.